Hello and welcome back to my winter series where I'm showcasing seasonal produce of the winter months, and this week, episode 3, it's all about endives. I find it really interesting that in the UK, endives are totally underrated. You don't really find them that often and people don't really eat them that much. But in France, they're an absolute staple. You find them everywhere and they're in a lot of go-to common staple dishes. And you eat them hot or you eat them cold. So yeah, strange. Let me know in the comments what you think of endives where you're from. I'm curious. Anyway, this recipe uses them both hot and cold so we get really the best out of them, and our centerpiece is a Endive Tarte Tatin. This works so well. The endives are a bit bitter so they balance out really well when you caramelize them, and because they're really crunchy they maintain some of that texture even after they're cooked, so you get a really nice balance of textures as well. So super simple to make. We're just going to tail our endives and slice them in half, take some of those leaves that are falling off and save them for the salad. Then we're going to oil an oven-proof pan even on the sides so our pastry doesn't stick, and then we're going to caramelize our half endives in the oil with a bit of maple syrup for about 2 minutes so they're nice and brown. Then deglaze with some orange juice and cook lid on for 7 minutes to draw out some of that moisture. Then top it off with some pastry. You can use shop bought, puff or short crust, whatever you want. I've made my own whole wheat olive oil short crust, and if you want the recipe for that, just watch until the end. I've put it at the end of the video. Then finally, just trim off the edges and fold them up on themselves so we create a bit of a crust and seal them off. And that's it, simple as that. The pan can go straight into the oven at 190 degrees for about 40-45 minutes until our pastry is nice and golden brown. So while that's cooking, I'm just going to prep a little side salad to add a little bit of freshness, crunch and zing. So first up, I'm just going to slice those spare endive leaves and go a bit bigger on the yellow bits than the white ends. Then I'm going to add some clementine because they're so delicious at the minute and they'll balance out the bitter leaves with their sweetness and slight acidity. So to cut out the supremes or suprême of any citrus, you want to start by cutting off the sides and then following the skin around the sides with your blade. Now try and get as little flesh as possible, but if you do, just squeeze out the rind so you get as much from your fruit as you can. And then you're going to go in and carefully slice out the segments. Then squeeze out those filaments that you've got left to get all the juice out, make the most out of the fruit, and we're going to use that for a nice dressing or vinaigrette. So into our jam jar, we're mixing some extra virgin olive oil, a bit of maple syrup, a bit of vinegar. I've gone for red wine, but apple cider would be really nice, and then salt and pepper, and just shake, and that's it. Then I'm going to finish off our salad with some roughly chopped walnuts and some fresh green leaves. Just mix it up, add the vinaigrette when you're ready to serve. We're just waiting for our tarte tatin. Speaking of which, it's ready to come out. I just need to scrape the sides off a bit to make sure they've not stuck before the big flip. I mean, this is always going to be a bit stressful. I don't really have any advice other than be confident with it. Just wear oven gloves and get a big enough surface, hold both sides and flip and hope for the best. If it comes out looking a bit worse for wear, if you've lost some endives along the way, then just touch it up before you serve. No one will know. You can always fix it and make it look nice. But oh, look at that caramelization. So tasty. You might be able to tell by my voice that I've got a little bit of the winter cold still going on, but this recipe was just what I needed. Super simple to make, super healthy, really comforting, but makes a bit of a difference from the usual stews, soups and pies of the season. Now, if you don't care about making your own pastry, you'll probably want to drop off now. So thank you so much for watching, and please make sure to like and subscribe for more every week. But if you want to learn how to make my whole wheat olive oil short crust pastry, then stick around. This is vegan, full of flavor and has a really nice short texture, but it's so simple to make. You just need a food processor. I'm going to start off by grinding some walnuts, which will give us that fattiness, that shortness, and a bit of lovely flavour. I'm adding extra virgin olive oil and some half and half whole wheat plain flour. Use the food processor at each step to combine it, and then once it starts to bind together, put it out onto a floured surface, and you want to work it in with some water until you get a nice looking consistency. It should be nice and smooth and start to come together, and then you can just roll it out and it's ready to use. Simple as that, really. And that's it from me. Thanks for watching.